Imagine this, you poured hours into trading only to blow another prop firm evaluation, wasting money, time, and confidence. Does this sound familiar to you? I get it. I've blown over 200 evals over my trading journey, but I have also been able to lock in $3 million in funding in 2025 alone and another $700,000 in 2026. In 2026, prop firms are tougher than ever with new rules and mechanics that trip up 90% of traders. But what if I told you there's a proven playbook to not just pass your eval on the first try, but to do it consistently, unlocking millions in funded capital without the endless frustration? That's exactly what you're getting today. In this video, I'll hand you the complete 2026 playbook for beating prop firm evaluations. We'll dive deep into choosing the right brokerage and account size to fit your style, mastering the rules so you never breach them accidentally, setting up your accounts for total transparency, and deploying battle-tested strategies to pass slowly and steadily. Or if you're an expert trader, even in one high-precision trade. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to treat trading like a scalable business, avoiding the pitfalls that cost most traders thousands of dollars. This isn't hype. It's the edge you need to conquer prop firms and build real wealth that will change your life this year. If you're actually serious about turning trading into your profession, stick around. You cannot afford to miss a single step we're going to go over in this entire video. Welcome back to the series on conquering prop firms in 2026. I'm Maniac Trades, and today we're tackling episode number 2, mastering the evaluation stage. If you're new to the series, pause now and go back and watch episode number 1. It exposes the raw truth about prop firms and sets the foundation for everything we're about to build in this episode. Trust me, going back and watching that episode will multiply the value you get. Prop firm evaluations aren't a beginner's playground. They're a professional gateway to leverage capital. Doesn't mean you can't be a beginner, but treat it like a professional. But they're only valuable if you're prepared. Otherwise, they become an expensive lesson in frustration. All right, let's check your mindset before we actually get into this. This self-assessment alone could save you hundreds of dollars in wasted eval fees and months of setbacks in your trading journey. You should only be diving into evaluations if you can confidently check these boxes I'm about to show you. A data-backed trade model, you've backtested and forward-tested your strategy on historical and real-time data, proving it actually has an edge in the market. Without this, you're guessing and not trading. You're gonna need ironclad patience. Trading success comes from waiting for A+ setups, not forcing trades. Patience is the #1 killer of evals and funded accounts. Something else you're gonna need is to master the rules. You know your prop firm's guidelines inside and out. One overlooked rule can end your eval or funded account in seconds. I've seen it happen too many times. You have to have a business mindset. You track everything like a CEO: risk, records, failures, and wins. This shifts trading from just this side hobby to a profitable enterprise you can actually change your life with. If any of those actually describe you, congratulations. You're primed to pass evals repeatedly in 2026, scaling up to multiple funded accounts. And that's the real goal here. We want to get multiple funded accounts and evals, but we don't want to rush the process. This foundation we're laying turns prop firms into your ally, not your adversary, which a lot of times that's what it feels like. They're out to get you. But if you're missing some of those pieces I talked about above, maybe hold off on buying your first eval or starting this journey and start honing in on some of those skills. Jumping in prematurely leads to repeated buys, mounting losses, and burnout. I want you to actually reflect honestly. Are you emotional after losses, letting them dictate your next move? Do you overtrade, or do you gamble without a plan when you go into your trading sessions? Do you even know the rules of the prop firm? Have you even read a single rule that the prop firms have put out and laid out for you? Are you still chasing this get-rich-quick dream or strategy hopping that's completely fake? If yes, prop firms aren't for you yet. We're gonna help you build those skills and get ready to actually conquer prop firms. Prop firms are built for disciplined traders, not gamblers. Without a solid strategy and the discipline to sit out of bad days, you'll fund the firm's profits, not your own. But the good news out of all this is everything I mentioned is all fixable. We can fix your discipline. Use this video as a wake-up call to say, let's start building those habits and changing the way we come to the market every single day. Subscribe now to my YouTube channel for more guidance. I'll walk you through it step by step throughout this entire year. And if you're stuck, know that every top trader started there at one point. Here's what I really need you to do. Focus on discipline. It's your true edge, worth more than any indicator, trading model, or YouTube video you could find. Your discipline is everything. Hit like and subscribe. It fuels more content like this and really helps me out. I appreciate it, guys. Now, with the mindset portion locked in, let's get into some of the practical things you actually came here for. The first thing we need to cover is the brokerage you're gonna choose that can make or break your setup. I think it's something that's overlooked and something pretty important that I want to share with you guys. So, which brokerage should you use when you're signing up for Apex Trader Funding? Choosing the right broker isn't just about convenience, it's about gaining an operational edge that keeps you compliant, informed, and focused on trades, not stupid tech glitches or trying to set up your accounts the right way. Get this part wrong and you'll waste hours finding interfaces, and get it right and you'll be able to monitor risks seamlessly and boost your pass rate because the broker works with you. For Apex Trader Funding, which was my top prop firm pick in episode 1, so if you haven't seen that, again, go back and watch it. You have 3 options. There's Rhythmic, Tradeovate, or Wealth Charts you can choose from on their prop firm. Hands down, I recommend Tradeovate. It's my go-to for a reason, and it'll be yours too after this video. Here's exactly why this needs to be your broker in 2026. First, it's really easy to set up. There's no tech headaches. Even beginners are up and running in minutes. It's super easy. TradingView integration. Tradeovate allows you to trade directly from your charts on desktop or mobile, streamlining your workflow. It makes it super easy, and TradingView, we all know, has an amazing desktop version and mobile app that we can trade from. The third thing, real-time visibility. You can always see your balance, trailing drawdown, daily P&L, and risk exposure at all times with Tradeovate. This transparency is gold. Most eval failures stem from drawdown surprises, not bad trades. Tradeovate eliminates that blind spot of knowing where your drawdown is at all times. Another one is you can have a live account. When you start stacking payouts, you can use Tradeovate to open your own personal live account to start growing your own personal funds, and it's seamless because you're gonna use Tradeovate throughout your whole prop firm journey, and it's very easy to hop over to a live account. In this video, we're gonna cover the complete setup detail later on Tradeovate, including your profit triggers to automate your wins, so stick to the end of this video. But moving forward, if you wanna follow along with this series, only choose Tradeovate as your brokerage when you're signing up for these prop firm accounts. Which account size should you choose? We're gonna get to the 3 risk strategies to help you pass any eval consistently. Make sure you stick to the end, but before that, there was a lot of important details we need to cover and prepare you for. Account selection is where many traders overcomplicate things, leading to mismatch risks and quick failures. It's a pretty important part of this whole journey. But choosing wisely aligns with your skills, your budget, your goals, and making passing actually feel achievable, not overwhelming. With Apex on March 1st, they updated their entire prop firm. There are now 2 main types of accounts to choose from: intraday trail and EOD trail. Let's break these down so you pick the one that maximizes your edge and helps it make it easy to pass these evals. First, let's cover what these will actually cost you. Intraday trail accounts are cheaper, about $30 less than the EOD trail account. So if you're looking to save money, go with the intraday. During Apex's 90% off sale, which they run pretty often, you can snag an eval for as low as $17 and a funded account for under $100 in total. That's pretty insane value compared to other firms in this space. Check the on-screen graphic on the screen for full pricing breakdowns on these accounts. This low entry barrier means more capital for the future, or maybe even to add to a live account that you can start trading with on Tradeovate. Here are some of the important rule differences between intraday accounts and EOD accounts for the evaluation stage. These accounts are almost identical in their rules, minus one thing that you need to be aware of. EOD trail accounts have the daily loss limit rule added on during the eval phase, where intraday does not have any daily loss limits in the eval phase. This rule acts as like a safeguard that locks your account if you hit it, preventing one bad day from blowing everything. Check out this on-screen graphic that shows you every account's daily loss limit when it comes to the EOD trail accounts. If you hit the daily loss limit, this will not fail the eval. This just acts as a timeout until tomorrow. Intraday has no such limit, giving more flexibility but requiring a little bit more discipline. Now let's break down the drawdown mechanic. These are crucial, as misunderstanding this is a major cause of failing evaluations. Later in this video, when we set up our brokerage, I'll show you how to monitor them perfectly in the broker setup section so you always know the exact dollar amount you have in drawdown. Let's go over the intraday trail drawdown mechanics. Intraday trailing drawdown trails unrealized gains, or what Apex referred to as the peak balance. Here's an example for you. You have a $50,000 evaluation account. your starting balance is going to be $50,000. Your max intraday trailing drawdown, so the max your drawdown will ever be, is $2,000. The initial threshold at account open is $50,000 in the account balance with a $2,000 in drawdown with a maximum loss limit where your account balance cannot go below $48,000. That's where everything starts at the very beginning. Now, let's say you take a trade and let's say those unrealized profits in that trade, the balance reached $50,900. So say you're up 900 bucks in a trade. A new peak balance is now established. The new threshold becomes $50,900 minus 2,000, which equals $48,900 is where your maximum loss limit sits. The threshold adjusts immediately. It doesn't wait till the end of the day, it's immediate. No closing trade is required in order to have this drawdown move. Say the balance later declines from 50,900 to 50,200, the threshold does not lower, it stays at your maximum loss limit of $48,900. It does not move downward ever. Now, say that trade you had closes at $50,300, so you only made $300 on that trade. The peak balance remains $50,900 and the threshold remains at $48,900, which means you just lost $600 in drawdown due to those unrealized gains when your account was all the way up $900 when you only realized $300. Now let's explain the EOD trailing drawdown. End of day is what EOD stands for. Drawdown updates at the end of the day based on closed position. For a deeper dive, let's watch this helpful video Apex created to explain.
End of day drawdown. What it is and how it works. An end of day drawdown is a fixed drawdown limit that is calculated once per trading session. Unlike an intraday trailing drawdown, the end of day drawdown threshold remains fixed throughout the entire session and does not trail or tighten based on intraday equity swings. The end of day drawdown only adjusts upward when a new peak end of day balance is achieved. If the account balance finishes lower or unchanged compared to the previous end of day account balance, the threshold will not adjust. For account types that include an end of day drawdown, it is calculated from the starting account balance. For example, a $50,000 eval account with an end of day drawdown of $2,000 is your maximum allowable loss on the account. That places your end of day drawdown threshold at $48,000 for that session. At the end of each trading session, which occurs at 4:59 p.m. Eastern Time, the limit is recalculated based on the end of day account balance. If your end of day account balance grows, the $2,000 end of day drawdown limit is calculated from the higher balance. If the end of day account balance decreases, then the end of day drawdown remains unchanged from the previous session. Lastly, the end of day drawdown threshold is the lowest balance your account is permitted to reach. If the threshold is breached, it will result in an account closure. End of day drawdown allows flexibility during the session while reinforcing accountability at the close.
This EOD drawdown mechanism is way more friendly to those who are working to grow their account steadily. And now you don't need to worry about unrealized gains ruining their account process and getting caught up in that. Most traders, I'd say, should go with the EOD trail accounts. Here's what I would recommend for most traders if you're gonna start out today. Stick to the 25K account or the 50K account sizes. They will be your cheapest all-in, saving you some money, and their risk to reward of what you're shooting for a profit goal is about 1-to-1, which is much easier than when you get to those higher accounts. Avoid at all costs, do not buy a $100,000 or more account unless you're an advanced trader who has a strategy they are confident with. I covered this in episode number 1, but please stay away from those accounts. You do not need it. Just because they're bigger doesn't mean they're better. Personally, I like to trade with the intraday trail for no daily loss limit and lower costs. I prefer that. I'd say though, for most traders who are beginners into this, or maybe you've been really struggling, go with that EOD trail account so you don't have that trailing drawdown following you. But at the end of the day, it's totally up to you. Pick whichever one feels right and you kind of like better. But the one rule I would say you cannot change ever is shooting for evals that are higher than $50,000 balance. You do not need to go bigger. It's not better, I promise you. Make sure the eval you're picking realistically matches one, your experience. It is completely okay to start small to build the momentum. To save on these accounts you're about to buy, use code Maniac at Apex for up to 90% off. The link links are all down in the description. Now that we have your account size picked out and the brokerage, let's avoid a common trap. How many accounts to buy? This decision will impact your wallet, your mindset, and your sustainability in this journey, because day trading isn't a month-long journey, it's a years-long journey. Buy smart and you'll scale efficiently. Overbuy and you'll amplify stress and your losses. Here's the simple rule I tell everyone. Start with one account, one eval. You do not need more than that. First, prove you can pass one account methodically before expanding to multiple accounts. If you can't handle one eval without emotion, multiple accounts stacked up just amplifies the stress and doesn't help at all. They'll just multiply your costs and the frustration you're gonna have throughout this process. That's where burnout comes in. Remember, trading is a marathon, not a sprint. Build habits that last, not shortcuts that will burn you out. There is no shortcut when it comes to day trading or prop firms, I promise you that. One of the rules I wanna set for you is only buy a second evaluation after securing at least one payout from your first funded account. Because then that'll give you the confidence, because now you have real proof your strategy is working under pressure, and gives you a massive amount of confidence going into that next account and the next eval. If you are at the point of your prop firm journey where you are now trading with more than one account, like myself, I trade with 14 funded accounts at one time, you need to make sure you're using a reliable trade copier for consistency when you're executing. It makes it so easy. I swear by two trade copiers. It's Tradecopia or TradeSyncer. Those are the two I recommend. They are both reliable and trusted in the industry, and I've personally used both. I will not recommend any product that I haven't used myself. Code Maniac, when you sign up, saves you 30% on Tradecopia and 10% on TradeSyncer. All the links, again, are down below in the description. Remember, scale when you're ready. This keeps trading profitable long-term. Don't rush the process. You do not need to rush this. Your biggest ally in conquering prop firms will be to have patience and go slow. I promise you, I've tried both ways. Going slow is so much better. Now let's get into how to set up your broker account the right way. Don't forget to stick to the end of the video where I will give you 3 strategies to pass any eval in less than 14 days. Now that we know what brokerage account to use and which account size you're purchasing and how many accounts you need to be starting with and buying, let's set up your brokerage account together so you're not doing it alone and you set it up the right way. The setup of your brokerage account is your foundation. Do it right and you'll trade with clarity and confidence, and it'll actually auto take profit for you or stop you out so you don't lose too much money. It's really nice actually. This will help you spot risk before they bite you. A lot of traders overlook this, and if you mess this part up, will allow themselves to destroy accounts. Tech issues, derail your focus, and flying blind on your actual account drawdown allowed. And we need to make sure you always know where your drawdown is at all times. Since we're using Tradevate, my top pick that I just explained earlier in this video, here's a foolproof 12-step walkthrough that it shouldn't take any time. While you're watching this, open up your broker account and Apex dashboard to follow along step by step. Step number 1. You need to log into your Apex dashboard and grab your Tradevate credentials on the right-hand portion of the home screen. You're going to make sure and copy and paste those credentials for step number 2. So as you can see, they're right here under Tradevate account. You're going to copy and paste those, and then we're going to head over to Tradevate. So step number 2, head over to trader.tradevate.com and use those credentials to log in. I'm already logged in, so make sure you just go log in. Now, here's something different that I'm not doing right now for step number 3. If you're a brand new user, make sure you sign all documents as a non-professional trader. And then step number 4, when you're logging in, once you've signed all documents, make sure you are accessing a simulated environment, not a live environment. All these accounts are simulated trading, not live trading. Step number 5, once you're in Tradevate dashboard, go to the top right-hand corner of the screen and click on the settings button. In add-ons, within settings, you're going to click on add-ons. We're going to activate TradingView. This allows you to connect to TradingView for free. It doesn't cost you any money, which is where you will be executing all your trades when trying to pass your evaluation. So as you can see, mine is already activated. Make sure yours is activated. You can kind of ignore all the other add-ons. Now let's go to accounts in step number 7. We're going to pick on your evaluation you're trying to pass. I have several, but you should only have one. And we're going to set up our daily profit trigger, which for me is $500, and your daily loss limit, which is $300. Now for you, that could look different, but make sure you are setting these up so it auto sets this so you do not lose accounts, and it will protect you. Now let's clean up the dashboard. So we're going to exit out of settings and we're going to go into our dashboard, and we're going to make it easy to know your drawdown at all times. Once you have deleted all charts and unnecessary items within your Tradevate brokerage, go to the top left-hand corner of your screen, and we're going to click the big plus button on the top right hand corner. So let's first clean up everything, delete all these, super DOM and our positions. And then we're gonna go to that top left hand corner of the screen. Now everything you see here is drag and drop. So if you ever want to add your charts back, this is how you find them. So we're gonna easily find our accounts. We're gonna drag and drop those. And then we are going to find our positions tab. And we're going to drag and drop those. I like to keep my TradeAway dashboard extremely clean. I don't like a lot of clutter. These are the only two things you need to use. You don't need charts or anything else. Step number 9, on the accounts table, on the top right hand corner, you're going to click the settings cog. So within the accounts, click the settings cog, and you're going to select columns. Okay, so we need cash amount, daily open P&L, dollar total P&L, and distance to draw down net liquid. And then we're going to save that. These 4 features are going to show you the exact dollar amount in your account balance. If an account happens to have an open trade running, what your daily profit or loss was in that account, and lastly, the exact amount of drawdown you have in each account. So the distance, this last one right here, is the exact amount of drawdown I have in all my accounts. Step number 11, I need you to go over to tradingview.com and I need you to log into your charts, and at the top right hand corner of the screen, click the button trade. So as you see, top right hand corner, trade. Now to step number 12, and this is the last step of this whole process, is you're going to find TradeAway and use the same logins from your Apex dashboard to log in. So we're going to find TradeAway. Now we're going to make sure up here it's not live. We're clicking demo is selected. And if live is selected, you're going to run into login issues and you're going to run into process. So we're going to click demo and make sure we connect. It's going to send us over to TradeAway, and we're going to log in there and use those same credentials. And then boom, now you're logged in and can trade from TradingView with your Apex eval. Done. Keep TradingView open during the trades for real-time monitoring. I always have it like in a little tab next to me when I'm trading, so I always can see if my counts have maybe messed up and actually opened a trade I didn't know, and I can manually make sure they're all okay. The setup gives you total control, turning potential pitfalls into advantages. Now let's get into passing the evaluation with risk models with real math that are behind them. Now here's the real meat of this video you've probably been waiting for. These are my 3 strategies to pass any evaluation tailored to your risk tolerance, so you can pick one of these 3 based on your finances, your risk, and what you're comfortable with. Again, I want to make this so clear. These are not get rich quick schemes. I probably will recommend to you the most, go slower. They're math-backed frameworks to align your trades with psychology, ensuring consistency over speed. Don't rush it. I'm trying to ingrain that in you. If you like a trading strategy, subscribe and check my video. This data-backed strategy works every day. This is the exact trading strategy I've used to lock in over $3 million in funding. All right, let's start off with the lowest risk model that most of you should probably be considering of the way you should pass your evals. This eval passing strategy is for the complete beginner or someone who has been consistently failing and needs to maybe slow some things down and lock in and be more patient. The timeline for this eval passing strategy could take 1 month or more, but if you do it right and wait for high probability setups, it could take as little as 15 trading days. Your max allowed contract size I'm setting for you on this strategy is 3 to 5 micros. Stay away from minis. Do not touch minis. You are trading micros. Your ideal trading, what you're shooting for in profits, about 20 points per trade, which should give you about $120 to a $200 win per trade. And your daily profit goal is $300 to $500 a day. And your max loss we're setting for you per day is about $150 to $300. I don't really want you losing more than that. Now, you are never allowed to take more than 3 trades in 1 day. And if your first trade is profitable, stop trading immediately after it's closed and come back the next day. This is a no break rule and must be followed. Don't let greed get in the way of your eval, of you locking in this year and actually conquering prop firms. I'm telling you, greed is one of your biggest weaknesses if you struggle with that. Let me explain the math behind this so you know you can kind of trust it. And this kind of goes for every single risk strategy we're going to explain. Say you only shot for $100 a day in your eval. The profit goal on a 25K eval, which is what I recommend, is $1,500. That would only take you 15 days to pass at $100 a day. If you're trading with 5 micros with that 25K eval, you would only need a 10-point move to capture that if you're waiting for your high probability setups 10 points is nothing on the charts. I want you to go actually look at how big 10 points is. It's tiny. Our profit goal that I set for you, which is $300 to $500 a day, is about 30 to 50 point move with 5 micro contracts, which is not big at all. If you're hitting your daily profit goal, it could take you as little as 3 days to pass this account. Though we're not rushing this, I want to make it clear, don't shoot for finishing in 3 days, just shoot for patience and execution. The most important part of any of our strategies is not to focus on the profit you could make. The most important aspect of these strategies is your patience and execution on high possibility setup. You need to know what that looks like, and you need to have extreme discipline and patience throughout this process. That's what's going to work. Do not rush the eval. If it takes a month, who cares? Be okay with slow growth that compounds. Again, we're in a marathon, not a sprint. Make sure you are taking advantage of TraderVate's triggers that I helped you set up in the setup part of the brokerage account that we taught you earlier in this video to auto do this so you can't mess it up. It'll auto lock your account and it'll auto take that profit. You don't even have to think about it. The small benefit of these triggers within TraderVate's settings is they force discipline even when sometimes you don't want to do it. And I promise you, do not turn these off and utilize them. They will help you. I promise. I'm trying to ingrain that. Do not ever shut those settings off once you set them up. Now let's get into the medium risk model. This one's a little bit more aggressive, but kind of similar to that low risk model. This is, I would say, for the more intermediate to advanced traders who have like a clear trading model they can utilize. This risk model for passing the evals should take you about 2 to 4 weeks to pass the eval, because we're kind of taking into account that maybe you'll take a loss here and there. Your max contract size you're allowed is about 5 to 10 micros, okay? That's where I want you sitting in. Whatever's comfortable for you, pick. A 20-point move, when you're trading with that, is about a $200 to a $400 win. I want your daily profit goal with this to be $400 to $600 a day. I want your daily loss limit we are setting for ourselves is $300 to $500 a day. You can never lose more than that in one day. Within this risk model, we always want to wait for high probability setups only. We are constantly journaling our trade sessions so we can see how we can be better each and every day. The same math we talked about above in the first strategy applies to this model we explained. And again, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it over and over again. Patience is your profit. Be patient. Be willing to sit on your hands in uncertain markets and wait for those confirmations you need in order to wait for those high probability setups, which might mean some days you don't take a trade, and that's okay. Again, make sure all your triggers, your loss limits and your profit triggers are set up in the TraderVate backend and the settings. It'll just make everything easier and help you lock in that discipline. Now, here's the last one, the high risk model, which most of you should probably ignore this one, but I want to put it in here for those who are actually capable and have a strategy they can utilize alongside this. This is for the advanced to expert traders only, and this risk model for passing evals works best with the intraday accounts, not the EOD accounts. The daily loss limit on those EOD trail accounts can really stunt this strategy and cause you to blow funded accounts much quicker because of that daily loss limit. So I recommend if you're going to use this one, just use the intraday accounts. With this risk model, you're looking to pass your evaluation in one single trade. Now with this one, your max contract size is either 1 to 3 minis or 10 to 30 micros, whichever you kind of prefer to use. In a setup, say you get a trade opportunity, you're risking the full amount of drawdown on the stop loss. So if it's the 25K, you're putting all $1,500 on the line there. And then your target profit goal is whatever that account is. Say it's 25K, it's the $1,500. Say if it's a 50K, it's $3,000. You're looking to hit that in one trade. Make sure your daily profit trigger on TraderVate is set up to auto liquidate if the profit target is hit, because TraderVate will auto liquidate if you have that set up. So you didn't have to set a TP, it'll auto make sure you get that. With this risk model, you need to wait for A+ setups, like A++ setups only. We need the highest probability setup possible. So that happens really, like when I take it, within 1 or 2 candles, it almost hit. Your willingness to be patient and be willing to sit on your hands is everything with this risk model. If you can't do that, if you struggle with that, stay away from this. The benefit of the strategy is you can get funded in an account within less than 24 hours, but you can also blow your eval within seconds and almost immediately, and that can stack up really quickly if you're trying to do this quickly. And I cannot stress this enough, this risk model is only for advanced to expert traders. If you have been trading for less than 1 year, this is not for you, okay? If you're reading this or you're watching this and you've been trading for less than a year, ignore this part, stick to the low or the medium risk setups. So what happens if you actually fail an evaluation? I want to make this very clear. In this journey to conquering prop firms, you will fail accounts. It is totally normal, and it is part of the process of conquering prop firms. It's gonna happen. Now, the most important thing is when you fail that eval, how do you react after you fail the account? Do you immediately go in and buy 5 more evals and try to do it again the same day because, oh, I just missed the setup? Do you freak out and let it ruin your day or week? If so, you need to fix that habit immediately, because that's gonna destroy you throughout this journey. That's exactly how prop firms want you to react. They want you to crash out. They want you to be emotionally driven by success or failures. That's how they make their money from unprofitable traders like yourself. So let's not be a cash cow for them. Let's actually be disciplined and lock in. And that's the whole reason I'm making this series, is because I want to change that for you, and I want this to be a life-changing opportunity. I want you to set this rule for yourself. If you fail an eval or you blow an account, you cannot buy the next eval for another 24 hours. You just need to let yourself calm down, get through it, fix your emotions, go outside, walk around, whatever, and then the next day you can go buy an eval. Give yourself that 24-hour break. If you fail, you need to journal everything that went right and everything that went wrong when you were trying to pass that eval. When you're going through your journal and you're writing down the things that you did right and the things you had success in, I want you to hyper fixate on those and ingrain them into your mind that this is what we need to be doing better every time we trade. We cannot forget those things we did well. And the things that you're journaling when you failed or did something bad while you're day trading, I want you to immediately set rules for yourself or boundaries that make sure you do not do those things again, because that's the reason why you probably blew that account. So you need to set some kind of boundary around yourself so you don't mess it up. I know for myself, I'm my biggest enemy when it comes to trading. For example, say you broke a max trades a day rule, or you didn't set up your daily loss limit trigger like I've told you to on the back end of your broker. Those things are there to protect you from self-destruction. So make sure for the next time you're actually doing those things I told you. The best tool you could use to help you isolate your wins and losses and know the skills you need to work on is TradeZilla. I use it personally every single day. This day trading tool highlights my weaknesses, my strengths, when I need to step away from the charts, and where I'm finding A+ setups so that I can go back and review them so I can know what it looks like when I'm looking at the charts. To make it a little easier for you and save some money for those evals, code Maniac locks you in 20% off your subscription when you sign up for TradeZilla. But journaling is one of the most important tools when it comes to day trading. You can do it for free with like a notebook or whatever, but TradeZilla, in my opinion, is really worth it. It just makes it super simple to enter like the data, and it auto syncs with Trade-of-8. That's why I have you guys pick it, so it literally just auto syncs with your journal and you can take advantage of that. Link is in the description down below. Now let's get into the homework section for this episode, which is practice makes perfect. Knowledge without action is worthless for you in day trading. This is your homework for this episode. Backtest in TradeZilla for either 100 trades on your strategy or mine, or 3+ months of data. During the backtest session, you can use my strategy that I recommended in my YouTube video, or if you have one that already works, go practice it, go put in those reps. But you have to execute as if it's like the live market. Do not skew the data just so it looks cool. Here's how you set up a backtest session in TradeZilla if you've never done it before. When you're logged into TradeZilla and looking at your dashboard like you see on my screen right now, the far left-hand side of the dashboard, look for that backwards arrow and click that. So as we look to the left-hand side, backwards arrow, and it says backtesting. Once you're in the backtesting dashboard, as you see on my screen, click on the top right-hand corner button that says create session. Now, I want you to fill out the title of this backtest session, Maniac Trades Homework. Next, in the description, I want you to write out the trading strategy you are going to be practicing in detail. Then either connect the strategy you already have in TradeZilla or click the little purple button that says create a new strategy and add those details. For me, I already have my strategy already out, 1-minute kill shot. That's one we would be using. Next, pick your symbol. For me, I always trade NASDAQ, so that's going to be the symbol I use. We're going to go micro NASDAQ. Next, pick the start date. This is the date the backtest will start. This could be quite literally any date in the past, all the way back to like 1900s, but we won't do that. That's not smart. Don't go that far back. I want you to at least go back to August of 2025. That'll give you about 6 months of data if you're able to finish the entire thing. You can go back further if you'd like, but that will give you a lot of data to work with. So let's go back to August 1st. Then the end date I want you to pick is the present day you made it. So whatever today is, for me, it's March 9th. The starting balance, I wanted to match the starting balance of your evaluation. So if you pick a 25K eval, put in 25K in this portion. For me, I have a $50,000 eval, and there's a quick little button here where just press 50K. Screenshot your backtest session results and tag me on Instagram. I want to see your commitment. I want to like show you guys some love and see the data you guys are actually getting from your sessions. If you want, you can join my free Discord. It's linked down below, so you don't have to do this alone. Come bring your questions, screenshot your backtesting sessions. If you have questions about prop firms or which account to buy, utilize that as a space. You have direct access to me because I don't want you guys to have to do this alone. Do it with the community. It makes it so much better. Testing builds muscle memory and eliminates live hesitation. Evaluations aren't just challenges to pass, they're business tests. Treat them as a capital allocation system, and you can scale sustainably for the entire year and change your life dramatically. If you view these as a lottery or some get-rich-quick scheme, I promise you're just gonna fund this business's profits, and they're gonna keep having you charge your credit card over and over and over again. When it comes to prop firms, discipline, patience, and a clear trading plan with rules are your edge. In the next video on episode 3, we'll be breaking down what to do once you pass your evaluation and how to hold a funded account without losing it. Passing the eval is just the start. Retention and longevity is the real skill to have with prop firms, and I'm gonna make sure you know how to do that exactly. If this helped at all, like, subscribe, and comment on your biggest takeaway or question you might have down below. Follow Maniac Trades on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for daily insights. I'd love to connect with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let's conquer 2026 together.